Margaret died.
All right.
Who?
That's, yeah. She passed after her stroke.
Mhm.
All right, let's go ahead and get started here. I see it's 7 o'clock straight up. And the first thing I'd like to do is ask Don to see you.
Well, thank you now for this time when we can come and gather together. Thank you for sending your son Jesus to die on the cross for our sin. You're a risen Savior now and you're living among us. Be with this council tonight, be with the mayor and the people on the council. Be with us as the spectators here that we'll all bring honor and glory to your precious holy name. Amen.
Amen.
Amen. And I'd ask everybody to rise, maybe the allegiance.
Give me a second, please. You got it? Yeah, I'm up there.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Praise the Lord.
All right, I'd like to call the meeting to order and ask Brenda if you will go ahead and call the roll.
I will call the roll. Mayor Self,
Here.
Myrtle Van Cleet here. Eugene Kiley? No. Brenda Lowe? Here. Floyd Philpott?
Here.
Steve Brewer?
Here.
You have a quorum, Mayor.
All right, thank you very much. All right, if you would please mute your telephones or turn them off, your choice. I would greatly appreciate it. All right, at the end of our business meeting, we will open the floor for public comments and questions. If you would, please wait until that point before making any comments. We'd appreciate it. All right, let's go ahead and review the minutes from the last meeting.
Town and County Line regular meeting, March the 11th, 2013. Call to order. Mayor Arthur Self called to order the special meeting of the, to the regular meeting of the council at 7:05 on March the 11th in the town hall. The clerk conducted a roll call. The following persons were present: Mayor Arthur Self, councilors Myrtle Van Cleet, Eugene Kiley, Brenda Lowe, Floyd Philpott, Steve Brewer. The clerk read the minutes from the February 11th regular meeting and the February 21st special called meeting. A motion was made by Eugene, seconded by Floyd to approve the minutes. The minutes were approved as read. Financial reports. The clerk presented the financial reports and a motion was made by Eugene and seconded by Steve to accept the financial reports. Motion carried. Open issues. The clerk contacted the EMA regarding designation of North and South Deans Ferry Road for 911 information. She was informed that 911 only needed the address to determine if West Blunt Fire Department or Dallas Selfville were dispatched. West Blunt for north of the river and Dallas Selfville for south of the river according to their map. New business. We have two proposals for repairs of Deans Ferry Road, Cobb Brazil, and the culvert on Smith Mill Road at Thermal Road. Proposal by Curtis Guthrie and Van Mulvihill. The mayor would like to go with Mr. Guthrie to make sure both of them are talking about the same projects. Also, there is a problem further down Smith Mill Road with a sinkhole that needs to be repaired. This is to be tabled until Mayor Self can meet with Mr. Guthrie. The clerk contacted our county commissioner, Gary Strickland, to set up an appointment with him to see what the county can do to help us. He will be out of town until March the 26th, and he will call the clerk then. Councilor Brenda Lowe to bring her husband, Thomas, to get some of the red rock to fill in some holes on Cobb Brazil Road. Public discussion on loose gravel on the roads. Lucy Kiley checking the internet on government grant websites. Mr. and Miss Fields that live on Brandonwood Drive came as spokespersons for annexation into the town. Mayor Self to check on how to handle annexation. Mr. Joe Knight, Jefferson County Commissioner, spoke to us about some of the problems with Jefferson County and encouraged us to keep working for the good of the people in the town. He thanked us for welcoming him and treating him kindly. adjournment. A motion was made by Eugene and seconded by Floyd to adjourn the meeting at 8 p.m. Minutes submitted by Brenda Philpott, clerk.
Okay, this was a regular meeting, so you need
Yes,
to.
I don't know why I missed that, but that's a typo. First one I've ever made. Mark
That's your
it down.
first mistake.
Mark
You're
it.
doing well.
The computer didn't.
All right.
It was a computer glitch, that's what it
Do we
was.
have,
Computer
uh,
glitch.
Do we have any
Have a
other
motion?
corrections?
Have any, yeah.
Do we have a motion to accept as with corrections?
I make a motion that we accept with the correction.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Okay.
All right. Let's go ahead and cover the financial reports.
In the road account, the 4, 5, and 6 road account, the balance is $6,571.81. In the road account 2 and 7 road account, and of course, these are all gas and tobacco and all that kind of stuff, tax that we get from, the 2 and 7 account has $8,318.80. And the general fund has $7,153.20. That's all through the end of March. And if anybody would like to see a copy or look at it, you can, they're all here. And, oh, and the capital improvements is still $69.65. No change.
All right, do we have any questions or corrections on any of the financial reports?
Okay, on the, I don't know which one this is.
That's the general fund.
Okay, we pay the phones and all that out of, what all comes out of that account?
Everything except anything
Except,
related to the roads.
And we pay the lights out of one of the accounts, street lights.
Um,
Street
Comes
lights
out
are
of 2
paid
and
for
7.
by
Yeah.
the 2 and 7 road account,
Yeah, the street lights comes out of
but
that.
the electricity, the fire hydrant fees.
Everything else comes
Everything
in.
else
Comes out of the.
comes out of the general fund. And this fund is primarily funded by the business tax, or business license that we collect. Okay. Any other questions or comments? Do we have a motion to accept the financial reports?
Accept it. I make a
I'll
motion.
second it.
All in favor?
Lloyd made the motion, who seconded?
Myrtle.
Myrtle. All right, reports of standing committees. We don't have any reports for standing committee. Have we heard anything else from Alabama Power about the streetlights?
Yes, sir. I talked with, I finally found out what the lady's name is, and it's in there. I think it's, I can't recall what it is. I'll have her number. And I spoke with her, finally got in touch with her with a telephone number instead of a fax or an email. And she said that she got the information, we went through the list of the poles that would need to be turned off. And she said, and I had to turn it over to the engineering department. And I said, I didn't say anything because I thought, well, why is that? And then she said, then he had to give it to his crew to come to take care of it. So I told her, I said, well, this has been going on since I gave her the date from when I first sent her the first email and talked to Miss Burton in Gardendale. And I said, so the longer you all put it off, the more credit you're gonna have to give us on her. So I said, I don't know what you're gonna do and who's gonna be responsible, if you're gonna charge the engineers, you're gonna charge the work crew, I don't know. But I will expect a credit on our account for the time we're not having, that we've asked you to turn them off and you haven't, so we'll see.
No.
Cause I did, huh?
If you don't hear anything else from them
Oh, I'm on.
this week, give me the number.
Okay, I'm gonna call her again tomorrow and tell her, because I did make the statement to her, you know that you're putting me in a bad position, that the mayor and council think I have not done anything about this, and I don't appreciate that, so.
Okay. All right, well, yeah, let me know.
I will.
All right. Any questions or comments about streetlights while we're on the subject? Okay. Reports of special committees. None.
We don't have any special ones.
Reports of officers. Brenda, would you give us just kind of an overview of what discussion you had with Commissioner Strickland on
Yes, sir.
Blount County's, our commissioner from Blount County?
Our commissioner is Gary Strickland. Well, what was our other one? Wyman Pitts was our previous. And Gary, when I met with him, he did call me, and he came up here and we met and we rode all around town. Very nice man. And I had told him when I couldn't talk to him, he was going out of town, I said, you better call me because I won't go away. And he said, I'll call you. I said, okay. So anyway, he called me and we met, and he said, and he drove, we went everywhere. He kept getting his tape measure every time I'd show him a place or we'd go somewhere, he'd just hop out of the truck and do all this measuring and stuff. And he said, I always wondered, he said, Wayman gave me a whole list of roads in Blount County, in his district, that needed to be taken care of. And he said there was not one road up here in this area. And I asked him, I said, well, have you a clue as to why he didn't put anything here in this town? And he said, well, I wondered, but I had heard some things. And I said, well, what you heard was probably the reason that Wayman didn't put anything. But he said, I wondered about it, why he didn't have anything in this area on his list of road repairs. So he was very nice, and he said, I told him that we had 2 proposals, and we also talked about Blount County. He told me that the town of Rosa gives them all of their tax money that comes to the road account, all their alcohol, tobacco, and all that stuff, gasoline tax and tobacco. And Rosa just gives all their money to Blount County. And he said, and we just take care of Rosa, whatever needs to be done, roads, grass, whatever. And he said, Locust Fork, we have a contract with Locust Fork. We do whatever needs to be done, and then we send them a bill, and Locust Fork pays it. But we're under contract. So he wanted to know if I could give him an amount of money that we receive from Blount County, and I said, well, that's a little difficult because we're Blount and Jefferson. We get a check, we get deposited to our bank account from the state of Alabama, but it's Blount and Jefferson together. And you can separate it, but I don't find where they've ever separated it in the past. Now, it may be something I might have to start doing, to separate what comes from Blount County, what amount is allotted to Blount County, what comes from Blount County, what comes from Jefferson County.
David's parking the car.
Well, my goodness.
And what do they say? Better late than never.
But anyway, I told him, I said, and so he looked, I did show him a copy of what we get from the state of Alabama, where it shows the difference. And so he said, this shows what you've had for the year and the month and the year accumulated. And I said, yes. And he said, well, that's gonna be a little bit difficult, isn't it, to figure out what part is Jefferson and what part is Blount. So I said, yeah, that's gonna require some accounting to do that, so.
Unless he wants to take care of both.
Unless he wants to do, yeah, he can do the Jefferson County part too, but I don't think he wants to do that. But He said he was gonna work on, you know, what I showed him and talked to him about, and was gonna get back with us, and I had invited him to, if he could possibly come tonight, that we would be having a council meeting tonight on Monday night, and he said, well, I would like to come, I would like to meet the mayor and the council, everybody, and I said, well, we'd love to have you, so come on, so. I thought he would be here tonight, since we just did that, week before last, yeah,
Yeah.
so. But that's all I know right now.
All right, well, I appreciate you taking the time to do
Well,
that.
he is working up a cost of just what we looked at.
Okay.
And he made some suggestions to me, especially on Copper's Hill, where, Freda Bobo lives, but where it goes, and he said that has to be, there has to be a pipe, there has to be some, you know, and he got out and walked it all and looked at it, and he said, and about the only thing I can see is that they would have to move their mailbox from where they have it to the other side of the road in order to repair that road, because he said you're never gonna repair it until you get a pipe to go all the way to the other culvert or to the drain.
Mhm.
So, he was very thorough, he went through and did everything, so.
Okay. All right, question for Brenda?
I tried to get Sue to come and, we rode all around her house, and I told her I would've brought him up there to see her. And she had her gate locked and her doors barricaded, and so
Well,
I couldn't get her.
Her boyfriend's there when she does that.
Oh, okay, is that what it is?
do you have a question for me?
No, sir.
Okay.
I appreciate you doing that.
You're very welcome. And I enjoyed meeting him, and I hope he does not let me down, because I thought he was really sincere.
Well, that's our first good contact of
With,
resolving this.
Mhm.
so I don't know what'll come of it, but hopefully it'll be a good outcome, I don't know.
We knew from the get-go, we were gonna have to repair some burnt bridges, and hopefully this will get us on the right track.
I
Anyway,
hope so.
again, thank you for doing that. I have not gotten back with Mr. Guthrie, so I have nothing to report on that.
Okay.
But every month we get a letter from the Alabama Department of Transportation offering us an opportunity to meet with some of their engineers down at the Birmingham office. Well, I took them up on it and went down there to talk to them. Unfortunately, it was not much use, because we don't have any state roads in the town, and that's all they were concerned with. And I just went in and told them up front, I said, we don't have anything in town, but I wanted to know what the state could do for a small town that needs road work. And they basically said, nothing. I mean, they're cutting back on their budget has been cut back, so their road repair plans have been cut back drastically over the next 10 years. So it was worth an effort to go. Unfortunately, did not bring anything back.
And I'm a little perturbed with them, because every time they send a letter here, they send it to Larry Calvert, mayor. And I told our mayor, I got another one today, and I said, I'm calling them tomorrow and say, you have met our mayor, and it's not who's on your list, so change it.
Okay. All right, any other, that's all I have on, as far as the roads go. Question?
On the repairs, where we stand on them?
We still haven't got anything done, but we do need to, hopefully Mr. Strickland will get back to us, particularly about that place on Dean's Ferry, the hole that needs to be resolved. But we've got to get that, we do need to get something done on that. If we don't hear anything back from him,
Oh, I'll call him.
give him a call, and
On Dean's Ferry or Smith Mill?
Smithville, I'm sorry, Smithville.
Yeah, Smith. And
But
he
if we don't have
said,
anything by the middle of the week, we need to go ahead and get it.
well, I did not show him the sinkhole because I couldn't find it. And I know that you and Van went and you saw it and you told me about where it was, but I could not find it. And so I said, well, there's one down there, Gary, somewhere, but I don't know
Yeah.
where it is. They
Well,
talk about-
it's down by the dope building.
Well, but I
Okay.
still couldn't find it, I guess.
The multicolored tin building down there.
Yeah, right, the
Okay.
meth lab, is that what you're trying to say, Mayor? But anyway, I could not
Allegedly.
find it, yeah. So But he did say that he would, work everything up and let us know, because I told him we had proposals. And as far as your question about that, we were not gonna do anything until the mayor got with the Guthrie, so that we all knew they were talking about the same thing, so.
And I've got to, that's something I've got to do in the next couple of days, to get that taken care of. Anyway, all right. Petitions, applications, complaints, appeals, communications.
Well, we had some complaints in our neighborhood about stray dogs and and all the yards that the stray dogs were fouling up, whatever you wanna call it. And, I called the sheriff's department, who is now in charge of the whatever, dog catchers, whatever.
Humane Society.
Yeah, whatever his name, whatever, he's a sheriff's deputy. And we didn't resolve anything, he brought a cage out there and he put food in it and did all that, and then he came back and somebody had torn the cage up. And he told me, he said what happened was that the dog got in there and they didn't know how to let him out, and they tore it up, getting him out. And if I knew who it was, it would be a felony, they could be, because that's government property. And he said, and if you don't know how to undo it, to go, you can't get them out, you have, so he tore it up, he said, I fixed it. And I don't know who did it, and I told him I didn't know who did it, I had no clue. And, so anyway, don't you laugh at me, Donna. So,
Apparently it was somebody whose dog got in.
well, I have my suspicions, but I don't know for sure, so I was not gonna tell him that. But anyway, we have three, was it 3, 4? Anyway, we had 4 dogs, 2 black dogs, a brown one, and another little yapping something or other. And,
dogs.
yeah, and all of them were just, and the one of them was in heat, okay? So every dog that was coming around was chasing her down, And so we had a lot of, just mess going on. So we had a citizens committee of dog catchers, and they've done an excellent job. And I don't know that they want to be recognized, but all of them but one is here tonight, and one's in an empty chair over there. And we didn't really know where to take them, so I called the sheriff's department and I said, well, where do we take where? They said where. So they've made several trips. And then we had another committee that took care of all the cats that were strayed.
Well, good.
So we really don't need a dog catcher or a cat catcher, we've got them both.
All right. I've got a couple of things I want to cover real quick, as far as, the couple that was here last week from Brandon Wood Drive, requesting information about the annexation. Well, I've dug and dug and dug, and I've got a bunch of information together. And what's gonna have to happen is a petition's gonna have to be drawn up for those residents to sign, asking to be annexed into the town of County Line. It has to be the property owner, and we have to have at least 60% of the property owners of the entire section that wants to be annexed in, to at least call for an election. But if we get 100% participation for everybody that wants to be annexed in, then all they have to do is present the petition with a legal description of all the properties to be annexed, and we can pass an ordinance and annex them in. So, yes, ma'am.
Say that one more time, slower. Say
All
that
right.
again.
Basically,
60%.
if every property owner on Brandonwood Drive wants to be annexed in, then they have to prepare a petition that they sign. The property owners have to sign the petition, and the petition also has to have a legal description of the property to be annexed in. If everyone signs that, then no election is required, and the entire section can be annexed in by ordinance. If 60% of the property owners sign the petition, then that's enough to call for an election to vote whether or not to annex that section in. But if we have, if say 9 out of the 10 people that live or property owners sign that petition, we could legally annex in the 9 pieces or parcels into the town. The 10th one would not be, and we could do it by ordinance. So, and when we go about this, if they want to pursue that, then I would also like to ask Barbara and Barbara's son if they want to be annexed in any of this questionable property, to have it annexed in at the same time. So, yes, sir.
I think that lady, the ones that was here talking about being annexed in.
Yeah.
I think they said everybody down there wanted it.
Well, that was my understanding, but, we have to stipulate that it has to be 100% for us to just pass an ordinance and admitting them into the town limits. But, that's what has to be done, a petition, and, from what I read and as way I understand it, the petition will probably have to be drawn up by an attorney to make sure that the legal descriptions are put on correctly.
May I comment? Just
Sure.
brief? I was at a meeting in Trafford one night when a couple came, that was their first piece of business that the mayor heard that night, and it was a couple that had came in and they wanted their property annexed into Trafford. They brought their cards with their legal description on it, and they made copies of them. And they all did a vote on it, and that was all they did.
That's pretty much, that's basically what
I
it
don't know
is,
if they
but we
had
have to
a
have
whole,
the legal
section.
description.
You know, if they had enough property that it was a whole section or town, what do you call it? Parcel, if it was a whole, it was a large parcel or what, I don't know, but I just know that they wanted their property annexed in.
Well, like I said, if we have 100% participation on any property that we have a owner's signature on, then we can annex it in. But we just have to make sure, the reason we'll probably have to resort to an attorney is to make sure that the legal description is accurate, so that when we file it with probate court, that when they adjust the town property lines, that it includes the correct properties.
Could we not accept a copy of their deed with the,
Or their card from the county where they pay their taxes. It has the
Anything that's
county's,
got a legal description on it, that's, to make sure that we do it exactly by the letter of the law, somebody's gonna have to hire an attorney to review the paperwork, to make sure that it is accurate, because we don't wanna have to, we don't want the possibility of it being rejected if it's ever challenged.
can this go through our attorney at the association?
So that's something that probably needs to be discussed outside of this meeting. But anyway, that is the update. Now, I do have a list, courtesy of the Blount County Tax Assessor, all the properties that make up the Brandon Wood Drive. And I have all the names of the property owners.
Well, I
So-
know, that Donnie Ashley, he came down to the house the other night, and he said that they didn't say anything to him about it. That's that young couple that bought down there that came to the meetings.
Mhm.
And, he said nobody had said anything to him about it.
Well, then Fields then. Mr. and Ms. Fields said they were asked to come to the meeting and speak for everybody, so he said they didn't talk to him.
For those of us who don't know, where is this?
You know where the
Oh.
hairstyle, or the hair salon is?
Yeah, okay.
It's the
That road
section right
down there.
across from
Okay.
it.
There's about 8 or 10 trailers out there.
Yeah, there's about 12 properties in there.
If you remember the council meeting that they had up here about the dump, and this man and his wife and child came, and they left here crying because they had said they had just,
I figured they must live at the back end of
they
that.
do, they live in the very back, but they're nice,
Yeah.
nice trailers.
Anyway, that's where we stand on that. So it really, they need to, the ball is in their court. They need to come up with a petition to get the people to sign. And if, if they want to talk about with the other association after the meeting, that's fine. Yeah. Okay, one other piece of business. I need everyone to call Scott Beeson.
Thank you.
I got a notice from the Alabama League of Municipalities. I got an email. There's a couple of bills that are currently in committee. The Governmental Affairs Committee, that number one, House Bill 397, requires that all municipalities accept business license applications and renewals online by January 1st of 2017. There is no funding for this requirement, which means if they pass this, then we're going to have to expend the money to buy whatever online program or pay the state to do this for us. We need to tell them, no, we don't need that. We can handle it the way we are right now. And that's House Bill 397, submitted by Senator Blackwell. Blackwell. The second item is Senate Bill 400, submitted by Senator McGill. Now, I may not read this entirely correctly, but this is what it says. It caps the fee for the initial business license issued to a business at $5.
A business license, only $5.
The initial business license, but that's the way I read it, is that the initial business license, we could only charge $5. That is unacceptable, period. Now, if it's the issuance fee capped at $5, that's less of a burden, because right now we don't charge anything for the issuance fee. But I think we were allowed to charge up to $12 now.
We were notified before business license notices went out that we could raise the issuance fee to $12. So it doesn't
Anyway.
make any difference, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to issuance fee $12 and then only charge $5 for the business license, so.
But anyway, irregardless, whether it's limiting the issuance fee to $5 or the business license is $5, that's totally unacceptable. Because that's our primary income for this town. is the business license. So please call Beeson.
Do you have a number?
Happen to have his number. Scott Beeson is 334-242-7794.
Would you repeat that?
Yes, ma'am. 334-242-7794.
And the bill numbers are 397 and
397 and 400. Both of them are Senate bills, SB 397 and SB 400. I'll leave this up on the table if anybody would like to look at it, or if you need a copy, we'll be more than happy to make a copy of all the phone numbers on the back.
Yeah, I'll make a copy for everybody that wants one.
You know, sometimes the league does do some good things for us, and I get these notifications periodically about action items that bringing certain bills, pardon me, to our attention. Okay. Any questions or comments about either one of those items? Well, we have no resolution of ordinances, orders,
No.
or other business. All right. The last piece of business I have, official business, is, Sue, come up here. Sue, come up here.
You're in trouble now.
You are in trouble.
I get a spanking. It's not even my birthday.
You don't give us.
All right. Outstanding Leadership Award. This award is presented to Ms. Sue Francis Calvert in recognition of her outstanding leadership and extraordinary determination to keep our town and our citizens safe. The mayor and council, town council of the town of County Line wish to recognize the service and dedication and devotion of Sue Francis Calvert. In witness whereof I have hereunto set my hand and caused the seal of the town of County Line to be affixed on this 8th day of April 2013, signed by the mayor and the council.
Well, I must be the dumbest person in the world. And Brenda looked me. And when I told her tonight I'd gone home and go to bed, and I noticed she said, "You can't go to bed." And then the flowers, but I thought we were gonna do something for the, you know. But when Bobby Shows came up, and Sharon, and then all of y'all. But I want to say this. I'll accept this on behalf of you. Because there's no way I could have done this. If you hadn't, we all deserve this. Because everybody in here, you're so precious to me. And we worked and we sweated. And we probably said things we shouldn't. But we all did this. This is an effort. It wasn't just one person. But from the bottom of my heart, I thank you. And I want to tell you, I love God first and family, and then I love this town. I dearly love this town. And I think you guys do too. This is our home. And when you get your back up against the wall, you got to fight for your home. So I thank you, and y'all completely surprised me. And I thank you from the bottom of my heart. And I love everyone here. You are the most precious people, I think, on the face of the earth. Thank you so much.
Well, at least we kept this secret.
Yeah, we got her.
I used to
I think we got her, except Bobby Shows was like, and Bobby and Sheriff was like, that was the question mark.
Well, that was, I wondered.
I didn't know they was doing anything for you tonight.
Now you start to tell stories.
See, he turned really red too.
He does. You give it away, Bob. You got to.
All right, let's, do we have any public comments or questions?
I have a comment about Sue Francis, and I want everybody, and I know, but we would not have known anything about any of the dump, none of this, if it had not been for Sue Francis.
That's right.
I know we all jumped in, we all worked, we all fought, we all did everything, but if it had not been for her first, we would have, they would have just put it right in over our heads, and we would have never known. So, that's the main reason for that, Sue Francis.
Well, you know what that means, don't you?
What?
You gotta be the eyes and ears from now on. Every bit of gossip, you gotta relay.
I thought I did that.
All right. If there's no other comments, public comments, questions, council, you have anything?
Buddy,
Yes, ma'am?
Mr., a guy from the, can I say that? Can I say that? From the, Attorney General's office came and met. And we have some stuff that he is really looking at, and he's looking at it hard. And of course, he gave us the worst scenario. But, we have heart. I think we're gonna get some exposure up here, so just wanna let y'all know what was going on. And, I think that was about it, wasn't it? Okay. He was in a black car, and while he was here at Town Hall, I mean, he even said, "Why's that white truck keep going?"
Well, he sat right, he sat here.
Did you get big boots?
No, we got Big, Jimmy.
Big Jimmy. Well, he sat here, right here, and so all the cars that we were all out here, out parked, and in that black car with the lights and the state tag, and he said, well, there's been a couple of cars that looked like they were gonna park right out there by the road, and they slowed down and did all this, and he kept saying, there's the same cars going back and forth over here.
And he said, who took care of the election? And four people went, he's right there. Pointed to the travel truck.
Who was in charge of the
Who was in
election
charge of
and the
it?
polls, and so we said it is right over there, so.
All right. Well, if there's no other questions, comments, do we have a motion to adjourn?
I'm making a motion to adjourn. I second it.
All in favor? Meeting adjourned.